What's going on, everyone? So, season 3, episode 9, we found out that Boyd is his condition is continuing to kind of amplify, and it's getting worse by the moment. He even said, my leg locked up. You saw the moment with him and Ellis uh, early in the episode, like literally one of the first things that happened in the episode. His leg locked up. He kind of got stuck. He had to be kind of dragged by Ellis. And it just feels like Boyd is starting to become on borrowed time, right? It's starting to feel like Boyd is coming to the end of the road here. And he even says, he even talks about it, right? And he says, I don't know if it's a day, a month, a week, I don't know how long it'll be, but it's getting worse. And this is a point of emphasis that we've really seen continue to build, like from last season all the way into this season. And I don't imagine is going to stop, right? And I think as we move into season 4, I do think that it's going to continue to amplify. Is FROMVILLE also kind of expediting it, right? That was a question even back in the last season of like, is FROMVILLE kind of trying to, time clearly works different here, right? And we're starting to unravel and unpack more and more about just time in general with this place. But then we've seen FROMVILLE be able to manipulate and change things and create things, and like even like the invisible worms and stuff, and now Fatima and her baby and all these things, right? Like there's things that FROMVILLE is able to manipulate that is not the norm. And another like big part of it too is FROMVILLE wants to break Boyd. Killing Boyd is not going to break him. Making him essentially useless, it's a good way to break Boyd, right? If Boyd is just a shell of himself, if Boyd is just, this a guy that can't function, can't save people, kind of just there, right? It's a pretty good way to break him. And I could see that kind of be the case. And you've had these heartfelt moments, and Boyd's really kind of relate a lot to Ellis, and was really talking to Ellis and kind of going over everything. And even Ellis was like, "What? Why tell me?" And he said, I don't want to. I didn't want to worry you. I didn't want you to, react or anything. Like it's something that he's got to figure out, but it's something that is coming. And is Boyd going to be able to get them out before it's too late? Right? I mean, it's why he trenched into the woods and stuff. It's why he's done so much of what he's done, because he knows, like, I'm on borrowed time right now, right? Like, who knows how quickly all of this happens? He's probably thinking a lot of the same stuff we are. Like, is this place kind of a cause and a reason for this? Is this place part of me kind of having these breakdowns and kind of falling apart, right? Like what is causing the expedition of his condition? Or is it just through the natural progress, right? Because he thought he was a long ways away. He thought he was years away. And it continues to build up and get worse. I don't think that that's going to be something that's just kind of forgotten. I don't think it's something that's just going to be thrown away. And it's like, oh, like, remember 2 seasons ago? Like, whatever happened to that, right? Like, I don't think it's going to be anything like that. I do think we're going to continue to see kind of that progress and him kind of dealing with some troubles. Maybe I could even see, maybe he gets somebody killed because he goes to try to save him and ends up locking up, right? And the monsters aren't going to kill him. The monsters don't want to kill him, right? The monsters want to break him, right? So if he kind of like, it would make sense if like, what if he is kind of, he's out there and he's trying to save somebody, and, maybe a newcomer or something, or, one of the townspeople or whatever, right? Like, and he goes to save them and his leg locks up, or he locks up, and he can't control it. And, he's got to sit there and watch as somebody gets eaten again, like Tien, and I also, worth side note, is that like I like that Boyd. So like one of the big things that I've talked about with Boyd is, speaking of breaking him, is that how do you break Boyd? Killing Ellis, probably not going to break Boyd. Would it mess him up a little bit? Sure. But it's not going to break him, right? He still has his mission, still has his goal. And something I've talked about is like, how do you break him of that? Right? Well, you distract him. You get him off his goal. Right? Like I've talked about, like, look at how distracted Boyd is. Look at how much where all of his attention and focus and effort is. It's in Ellis. It's in trying to save Fatima and Ellis. And if you can continue to kind of use that as a way to break Boyd, I think that that's how you do it. And Boyd basically iterated what I've been talking about, right? About how, like, hey, like, do you think this Fatima thing happened because of me? Because they want to break me, right? And, Ellis kind of played like, no, it's not. And he's just like, it's something we got to think about because it is. It makes sense, right? But you even saw the heartfelt moment with Kenny and him kind of talking to Kenny and, Kenny coming back to the fold as his deputy and stuff like that. And it's just like, Boyd's just like, hey, I only have so much longer, right? I don't know when it's going to be, but at some point I need you, because Kenny's the one guy that Boyd trusts, and Boyd's, he's tried to protect Kenny. He's trying to do the right thing. And like he even said, like there's decisions that I have to make in this position as, kind of the leader of this town that I have to make and I have to figure out for the betterment. And sometimes it's not a great decision. Sometimes it's not something that you want to make. Sometimes it is the toughest decision, and sometimes it can also be potentially the wrong decision, right? But, Kenny, he wants to see Kenny kind of step up and emerge into that. But I look at just trying to break Boyd, and it's just like, again, you distract him or you make him useless. Right? And it's kind of what Boyd was getting at, right? That, like, hey, maybe this whole Fatima thing happened because of me. Because this place wants to do everything it can to break me. And I talked about it. If you kill Ellis, not going to break Boyd. If you break Ellis, now Boyd's got to be there to pick up the pieces. Now Boyd has to be there to try to, console and all that. I mean, look at all the stuff that's going on in the town, all the craziness, everything. And think about, past with Boyd. Like, Boyd had his hand in everything. He had at least knowledge of everything, right? Like, he there was very few things that would happen that would go on and whatnot that he wouldn't at least be privy to, right? Like, and now he's completely in the dark. All of his attention and focus and energy is on Fatima and Ellis. And, like, that's a good way to kind of get him off the board. Also, his condition is a good way to get him off the board. Right? The more that he's kind of tied up with his condition, and, if he ends up kind of becoming useless and isn't able to function and whatnot, and he wasn't able to save everybody, well, guess what? It's another good way to kind of break him, right? Because now it's just like you can't save anybody. You can't do anything. And now you just got to sit here and watch as we just start picking people off and, the town changes and all that stuff, right? Like, it's going to be interesting. See how this continues to kind of play out. See how this kind of continues to develop, because just it feels like we're how much longer is Boyd going to make it, right? Well, it's a series, right? Like, episodes sometimes happen just in one day, right? Like, so I don't think it's something where Boyd necessarily dies in, the middle of next season or anything like that. But I do think that this is going to be a story point that's going to continue to develop. I think this is a story point that's going to have consequences. It's going to kind of, keep rearing its head. And I think it's something that we're gonna continue to kind of see progress through, particularly next season. I don't see them kind of. I don't think it'll be part of the next episode, just because, I mean, again, they have so much that they need to unpack. They have so much that they need to unravel. But you never know. We'll see how it all kind of plays out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you think that, yeah, he's on borrowed time? Boyd is on borrowed time. Do you think that, no, he's, he's tough. He's Boyd. right? He'll figure it out. Do you think that this place is messing with him? Do you think that, like, no, it's just the natural progression? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. We enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.